Hey guys, I'm not sure if you saw the previous video regarding this Pachypodium right here, this one right here. I had a little bit of an issue with it. It had a little hole. If you didn't see the video, I will provide a link down below or in this field to shoot you right over to there. So before we get started, I've noticed that the rot's starting to spread further. And also there's some issues going on up top. So I have a feeling this guy has been rotted through and through. But I'm gonna try to make one last ditch attempt to save it. So before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join us on Facebook. So let's begin. Okay guys, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this guy out of this pot. I'm gonna try to trim him down and see if he is salvageable. Kind of hoping he is. I really like this guy. He's one of my first. And then what I'm gonna do is take one of my containers, make sure it has a lot of holes in it. I'm gonna put some perlite in there. And we're gonna set him up in there and try to see if we can get him to shoot roots. Now, here in Florida, it's getting close to the end of the growing season. Some of my Pachypodiums have pretty much packed it up for the winter and probably won't see him until the spring. Like this guy up here, looks like he's just about done growing, and he's packed it up because he's losing his leaves, and I'm sure he's going dormant along with this one. The other Pachypodiums of this species still seem to be shooting off some new leaves, so I'm not sure. Every plant's different. So if it doesn't decide to shoot leaves now or shoot roots now, it's probably you'll shoot them in the spring if it can make it to that point. So what you'll need for this is what you typically need for any type of cutting. You're going to need your knife, welding gloves, or any type of gloves that'll protect you from the thorns, or anything to protect you from the thorns really. Cinnamon powder for the cuts, and alcohol. With everything with COVID going around, it's getting harder and harder to find the just liquid alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So I have alcohol pads that I'm going to do. It should work just fine though. And some perlite, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the base of the pot and put it on top of it. Hopefully I won't have to do too much to try to stake it to stay up, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, if you know the plant is good, you would normally put the perlite in first, so you have this all set up for you, and then you would put the plant in it. However, since I'm not 100% sure that the plant is savable, I'm just going to wait till afterwards because I don't want to really have to put perlite back into the bag. So let's begin. Now before I clean my knife off and get ready to chop, I'm going to take this out of the pot. There's something in my glove. This bad boy out. The roots are most likely really entwined with this one here, so that's another reason I want to get him out. It's because if he's starting to really rot down into the root system, it's gonna get into the soil and it's gonna kill my other guy. And this guy is the first Madagascar. He's like my second. While I really hate to lose any of them, I really would prefer not to lose that one. So we got him out, and since this is not salvageable down here, I'm just gonna take a little cutting. Yeah, you can kind of see that it's starting to rot here, and it was going down into it was going down into the roots. You can see this is coming off fairly easy. So what I'll realistically do is probably remove this one out of it, completely wash off the soil, give it new soil and put it back into this pot to prevent any type of bacteria attacking that plant, bacteria, fungus, whatever is afflicting it. So there's a little soft spot right here. I know it's a little hard to see with the camera so far away, but that's how I was able to set it up the best way. So it's starting to get a little soft up here, and see if I'm able to show you this without getting up. Right in here, it's starting to shrink on the tip over here. As you can tell, it's just coming off. So I'm going to hope that those two are unrelated. Maybe just something attacked the top and the center trunk is just fine. So now we're going to move on with cleaning our knife. As you can tell, it's pretty windy. Hopefully my tripod doesn't decide to blow over while I'm in the middle of this. So it's a little more time consuming doing this. I figured that much, but also a little more dangerous too, so definitely wear gloves for that. So got that going. We're gonna start here, and like you would with normal cuttings, when you're chopping, you want to start as low as possible, so this way you save as much plant life as you can. So right about here. Oh. Yep, you can tell. I'm actually going to put my glove underneath this so I don't destroy the blade when I cut through it. But I'm pretty sure you can tell from here. It's pretty much just falling apart. Yep, you could tell it was getting a hole through there. Most likely I should have just chopped it originally, but I had high hopes that I caught it in time. But lesson learned. Got rid of it for now. So looking in here, you can see the hole goes up pretty deep, and just by putting my fingers on it, it extends pretty far. So my fears that this thing is completely hollow inside now. So let's start from the top. Yep. Yep, it's rotted through and through. So I believe what happened was, yep. I believe what happened was it probably just hit at that weak point, that just where it just leaned so far, and it just spread from there. It wasn't caught soon enough, and it just ended up dying. So this is actually my first species, Pachypodium of this species, to die on me. So it's pretty upsetting, seeing as it was also my second Pachypodium I ever owned. But a good way to look at it is I most likely saved my big guy over here that was my first from suffering the same fate, because when this material rots, chances are it's going to get into the dirt and it's going to spread to this one here. So this guy will be completely removed out of his pot, washed down. I'll probably put some cinnamon on the roots just to be on the safe side, and put them in some new dirt. most likely I might do a video on that, just to see, in case someone wants to look at a healthy root system or identify any problems. So just continuing to cut just to see how far bad the rot was. Yeah. So this is upsetting, but all you really can do is when one dies is learn what you did wrong and use it to prevent another loss of another Pachypodium. So I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully it'll help save one of yours if it's starting to look something close to like this. I'm not exactly sure what, outside of the extreme lean on the Pachypodium, I'm not sure what else caused it, because the second one, its mate in the pot was doing just fine. I know the pot was a little small, but they do like to stay a little cramped, so I didn't think that would be an issue. So if you have any suggestions as to what you think it may have been, any ideas on what I could have done different, always looking for advice, looking for help on something like that, because it's a great learning experience, and it's hard to know everything about a species of anything, regardless of it being a plant or an animal. So I hope you found this interesting. Don't forget to subscribe, join the Facebook group, and can't wait to see you for the next video.